awesome people, my name is Seive and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we'll be talking about common prescription drugs that we should avoid, or better still, reduce its intake. We take most of these drugs whenever we are ill and we feel it's healthy because it was prescribed by our doctors, right? But the truth, guys, is that because a drug is legal or because it was prescribed by a doctor doesn't mean that it doesn't cause some long-time damage to our system. So most of these drugs are even common over-the-counter drugs that we do get, even without prescriptions, and to us it's healthy, right? But guys, these drugs can actually cause some damages to your system in the long run. So if you're someone that you're very intentional about your health and you're a fan of healthy living, you're definitely going to want to keep watching this video, and please go down and subscribe to my channel. So the first one we have on our list is Flagio. Flagio is a brand name for metronidazole, and it is for treating bacterial infections. So it can be used to treat infections like stomach infections, it can be used to treat vaginal infections, it can be used to treat infection of the blood and the bloodstream, and it can also be used to treat some lungs and kidney infections. But guys, these drugs has some short-term side effects anyway, which are dizziness, stomach pain, rashes, nausea, and the rest. Now, people that have history of kidney disease, liver disease, and blood disorders like low blood count should definitely avoid these drugs. Why? Because it leads to a decrease of breakdown of propylene glycol in the liver, which leads to its increase in the blood system, and this leads to seizure, it leads to kidney failure, and it leads to increased heart rate. So guys, if there's any way we can avoid these drugs, especially for this set of people I just mentioned, those that have history of kidney disease, liver disease, blood disorder, and those that are allergic to antibiotics, you should definitely avoid these drugs by all means. So the next on our list is cough syrup, guys. So cough syrup is something we take constantly to decongest, to cure cough. That's what we do call it. Take it to cure cough. But let me ask a question. Does cough syrup cure cough? The answer is no. Cough syrup does not cure cough because cough is actually not a disease. It's just our body reacting to some illnesses in our body, like throat and lung infections, and also our body reacting to irritants like dust, smokes, and some pollutants in the air in our environment. So guys, these cough syrups, constantly taking it can actually cause some side effects. Now, we have a very active ingredient in some cough syrups like the dextromethorphan. Now, this dextromethorphan can actually lead to drowsiness, it can lead to blurred vision, it can lead to vomiting, it can lead to insomnia. So guys, if you're someone that you're into some active work like driving, handling machineries, then you definitely need to avoid this drug. Another active ingredient that we have in some of this cough syrup is codeine, and we know that codeine is a very dangerous compound. So codeine can actually lead to dependency. So in a situation where you are actually trying to cure cough and not curing the cause of the cough, it leads you to actually keep on taking these cough syrup. You can have some people taking like up to 1-2 bottles and you're still having cough, guys. So this can actually lead to dependency and then lead to overdose of this codeine or dextromethorphan, which can lead to brain damage. So we definitely need to try to use a natural remedy instead of the cough syrup. Now let me give you an example. You can actually go for a thyme tea instead of cough syrup. Now thyme, as we know, has some antioxidant properties which can actually cure infection of the throat or even the lung, for example. So I'm going to drop some a very simple way to make a thyme tea in the description box, so you can actually use it instead of using cough syrup. Another ingredient, natural remedy you can actually use for this cough is ginger and garlic. So you can actually decide to chew it, you can actually decide to blend it, sieve out the juice and drink it, and it can actually do exactly what you need it to do instead of taking cough syrup. So guys, let's take note of this. Now guys, the next we have on our list is antihypertensive drugs. Now when it comes to hypertension, you might say, oh, but there's no way you can avoid the drugs, right? But in some cases, there are actually ways you can actually use natural remedies instead of the drugs. And guys, before you do this, you need to actually talk to your doctor to be sure that it's safe to go for natural remedies instead. Now, when you talk about hypertension and we're talking about hypertensive drugs, the first thing that will come to your mind is, but young people do not have hypertension. Yeah, but we still have people of 33 years and above having hypertension nowadays. Now, these are a set of people that can at least try to avoid these antihypertensive drugs because you might not really be at a very strong risk. Now there are natural remedies which I will tell you later on, but you need to know what these antihypertensive drugs actually do to your body system. Now antihypertensive drugs can actually in the long run or rather a chronic intake or prolonged intake can actually lead to diabetes mellitus, which guys, we know that is actually very dangerous and can actually lead to death. It can actually lead to prostate cancer, which we all want to avoid. So if there is a way you can actually reduce or do not start taking the antihypertensives, then you definitely need to go for the natural remedies. So the natural remedies for these antihypertensive drugs or antihypertension is regular exercise. So when you exercise regularly, like you can decide to just jog or do something that will just keep you healthy, is actually necessary, and remain in shape. Now when you're overweight, you can actually start having more crises when you're hypertensive, and then you should try to eat healthy. Now you should try to reduce your fatty food intake and also reduce your intake of food rich in sodium. Then you should definitely try to reduce your intake of alcohol, guys. It's very necessary. Then another thing you should reduce, or rather not even reduce, you should try not to smoke. Avoid anything smoke completely. So guys, if you can actually reduce your intake or rather not take hypertensives, then you should try. We need to stay healthy. Guys, the next we have on our list is the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. These are pain relievers like aspirin, ibuprofen, diclofenac, and these drugs are responsible for trying to reduce our fever, headaches, and inflammation. But these drugs have some adverse effects in the body during prolonged intake. Some of these effects can be seen as stomach ulcer, kidney failure, and high blood pressure. So guys, if there is any way we can actually try to reduce our intake of these drugs, then we definitely need to go for the natural remedy. So the next we have on our list is the acetaminophen. These are paracetamols, Sodrex, Panadols, which are pain relievers too. But these drugs can actually cause very serious damage to our system because it has a lot of toxic metabolites. Some of these effects we have, which might not really notice in the long run, we actually have a lot of issues of liver damage as a result of continuous intake of these paracetamols, Panadols. It also has other side effects like anemia, kidney damage, hypertension, and stomach ulcer. And guys, if there's any way, and I repeat, any way we can actually try to reduce the intake of these drugs, we should. So I'm going to be telling you the natural remedy for both the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs and the acetaminophen. And the natural remedy, guys, when you're having body pain or headache or something, this is like your body telling you that you need to rest, guys. You need to rest. So what you need to do to avoid these is actually to take a lot of water, then lie down in a very cool place that is well ventilated, then have a nap for at least 2 to 4 hours. When you wake up, I promise you're going to be as good as new. But some cases where you actually finish taking a nap and you have taken a lot of water and you're still having these headaches, or you're still feeling very tired, weak, or having body pain, then this is a sign that you need to go visit your health care provider. This is because sometimes we actually tend to cure the symptoms of an illness without going to look for the root cause of it. So we actually have to create the culture of constantly going for a test before we buy drugs, because trust me guys, it's actually drug abuse. Yes, self-medication, really drug abuse. So guys, and we know no matter what, in any form it is, whether we are taking a legal drug or an illegal drug abuse kills, and we need to stop it. So guys, if there's any other question you have, or if there's any question you have painted pertaining this particular topic we actually talked about today, then please go to the comment section and write down your question, and I will definitely answer you. And please, I would always say, subscribe to my channel. Man, your subscription gives me energy. So please go down there, subscribe, and click on the bell there so you can always get notifications whenever I have a new video. Thank you so much guys for listening, and see you in my next video. Remain safe and remain awesome.